Hello, everybody. This is a little different for me. I'm used to doing Zoom where I can see you and hear back from you, but I see you're here. So my name's Keenan Philips. I am the director for the Wild Abundance Tiny House Academy. I got into that because I was teaching classes for this Tiny House Academy and just ended up teaching more and more of them and realizing that it would be helpful if we had somebody taking the reins a little bit more. So I ended up kind of creating a position for myself and being able to do that. I rolled into that beginning of this year and just working on making this program better and better. So I want to tell you all about it. I'm going to give you a presentation that'll take about half the time, and then we're going to kind of open it up to a live Q&A. So let's jump right into it. I'm going to share my screen. Is it that one? Nope. You know, I was all prepared, and then here we go. All right. So yeah, this is a thing we've been working on creating for a few years now. We call it the Tiny House Academy. We've got a whole sales page you can check out on our website, and I'm going to show you. Oh yeah, we just got this little bit of feedback a couple days ago that just really touched my heart. We sent out a customer satisfaction survey for the people who are already enrolled. And Ed in Minneapolis said that it was a literal life changer for me, and I am full of gratitude. So if you're wondering if this is a worthwhile thing, I think that really sums it up. So here is the commercial that we've put together. Well, it was working fine earlier. Some people think you need to be a construction worker or a contractor of your own time.
But we are here to bust that.
Well, sorry about that. Yep, I tried this earlier and it's working great. Well, at least we got paused on the cute little kids. Gonna try dropping down the quality real quick. Otherwise, I'll let Zach share this.
With our online tiny house academy, anyone can learn to build.
There we go. Also, anyone is. Never mind. Let's let Zach do it. Be really excited to build, and at least over the age of.
Or not. For you, if you
Hey, Zach, I do have the YouTube link. I actually shared the whole slideshow with you via email. That'd be the easiest way because the videos are they're cut down.
Hey, Keenan, how's it going, man?
YouTube link.
Do you have?
So we got some Asheville.
Yeah, you're trying to get me that YouTube link. If you click on
that's awesome.
The YouTube word down there, I think it'll take you to the thing on YouTube, and then if you post
slideshow.
Oh, you emailed it? Let's see. I see it there. Okay, let me.
And while Zach is hopefully, oh, here he is.
I'll share it. I'm
You got it?
Yeah. Let me see what I can do. I'm gonna share the actual video from YouTube. Let's see. I think this is the right one.
Yeah, that video we're playing all the way through, so that should be
Living
Okay.
small means
Is it the one that's called Thinking Outside the Tiny House Box?
I don't know what the name of it was off the top of my head.
Okay, I'll
But
share
I
this
can
one
get
and
you
then
the link.
goes inside of there. I'll share this one and then we'll if it's the wrong one, then you let me know.
Okay. All right, your internet's no better than mine.
means more time outside of your house, and that's one of the absolute.
Oh no, that's the one I'm sharing in a minute.
Living in a small house is that it's about getting
What was that?
outside of our comfort zone. It's about getting in. Living small means more time outside of your house, and that's one of the absolutely beautiful. We have,
Keenan,
for
if you
example,
mute your mic, there
national
won't be
and state
backfeed.
forests. Bike share program. You might
So that's about as far as I was going to share that one, Zach.
A month.
Thanks.
Okay, let me know when you're ready.
Yeah, so we got lucky. We got lucky, and Rob Greenfield ended up moving to Asheville and has done a series of videos that's there in the Tiny House Academy. He has done a lot of small and very small living if you're not familiar with him, and done a lot of cool projects. So let me open up. I was just going to show you it's going to walk through all the different things, the different sections that we have in the Tiny House Academy. I do want to share that commercial with you though. So here we go.
Yeah, do you know what the commercial is called? Is it called
It is just called Tiny House Academy Wild Abundance.
Okay, let me see which. Let's see. And
there you go. That might have been it.
Oh, there we go. Oh, wait. I think I found it this time.
Awesome.
Some people
think you need to be a construction worker or a
Getting it on the fly. Here we go. I think I found it, you guys.
Sorry to put you on the spot, Zach. Thanks for hanging in, everybody.
No, all good. Let's see. I think. Let's. Let me know if this is it or not, and then let's mute the mic here.
Cool. So yeah, that commercial gives us a really quick, brief overview, sums it up really fast, and I'm gonna kind of break it down a little bit slower in this presentation, going through all the different sections that we have. So the first section in the Tiny House Academy we call Big Picture. And there's an intro video on just how to use the class, a little slower of how things are broken down. We've got tiny houses on wheels versus on foundations, lumber choices. This is the section that Rob Greenfield does about simple and sustainable living in a tiny house. And one of the really cool things I think that we do with this program, we have a monthly live Q&A, and students come and hang out and bring their questions. And one thing that's really neat about it is seeing people connect through that. And so I'm going to show you, we got such a variety of people. There's
We're tuning in from Costa Rica, and you can call us Lacey and Jack. And we don't really have much experience building. Jack has definitely more than me. I don't really have any at all. And we live in the tropics, so we're not sure if the course is gonna like 100% apply to us or not, but it seemed like there's just so much like foundational information that regardless, it's gonna come in handy for us.
Keenan, you can see the video.
Yep. Oh no. Oh, okay.
No, but if you drop the link in the comment section, I can share it again.
Well, that one was direct from my computer, so let me try.
Oh, I see.
Let me try sharing this. Tell me if this is working.
We're tuning in from Costa Rica. And
is that working
we
now?
see the like the file folder, but
Oh.
we see the file folder
Oh, it looks like
videos in it, but we don't see the.
Okay. Still learning.
No worries.
That's
Thanks
weird.
for working through it.
Yeah, it won't even let me. Well, okay, I'm gonna skip that part. There's a couple. There's actually multiple people from Costa Rica that are in the class, and so through that live Q&A session was how they found each other, and then they were able to connect outside of it. And we've got people. There's one student in Africa. There's a lot of people just happen to be on the East Coast. I think maybe they already knew about Wild Abundance through our in-person classes and stuff, so they were already tuned in. I've got a call to action link here at the top of the chat. The way that we do the Tiny House Academy, it's not always open. You can't just go to the website and buy it and click it. We release it a couple times a year for enrollment so that we're able to keep up and make sure that we're providing what you are paying for. And then in between the releases, we review the program, we make additions to it, so we keep on adding into it. So the way to actually end up getting it is to sign up for our wait list, which is that call to action up there at the top of the chat. And we are going to be releasing it pretty soon here in the summer. So get on that wait list, and it's only open for a few weeks, and then we shut it down again, and it'll probably be New Year's before the next release. So I would say get in there and do it. So let's look at the next section. Yeah, so the video we saw of Rob Greenfield a little bit earlier was from the Simple and Sustainable Living in a Tiny House section. I think he does a really great job. There's 4 videos in total there. Next up is tools of the trade, and as you can see, make sure you can see. Everybody seeing it? Cool. Loretta says yes. Awesome. Well, now I can't get back to it. There you go. We have tons of tool videos. I mean, you've got to know how to use the tools. So chalk line, even how to, like, this may seem really basic, but pencils for carpentry and sharpening them. We've had a lot of great feedback on that class. Reading tape measure, chalk line, levels. You can just see this list goes on. And some of these videos, this program that we use, once you've got 10 videos in a section, it'll cut it off. There's even more videos to the drill video, which I did. You've got the circular saw, the chop saw, hammer and nail guns, which there's even more of than you can see. It's a pretty big list. So let me show you a video. I'm going to show you a few videos, hopefully, of some of the tool sections. They're mostly done by my friend Nadi and another woman named Ella, and they just do an awesome job. Well,
I can share this one again too. Just give me a second.
come on.
Yeah, you pull up the slideshow and everything is already like pinned down. I think that's easy, you know. Thanks, Betsy.
Keenan, if you stop sharing your screen, I'll share this video.
Short distance into horizontal.
So that's as far as I was going to go there, Zach. Are you playing straight from YouTube?
Yeah, it definitely streams better if you do the share video, which is like the 6 icons pops into the 9 icons, and then the share video. And if you share the link in there, it does it's a lot better.
Okay.
But I'm happy to share them too. You can just let me know what you want me to share.
Thank you. Yeah, I've cut them down a lot from what we have on YouTube just to show little good excerpts.
That makes sense.
You have the slideshow up?
Yep.
Cool. Yeah, if you can try playing the next little clip, it is from the same video, but later on, and then the one right after that.
Okay, let's see. You said the same video? Okay,
yeah. So it's going to be slide number 8, and then slide number 9 you can play right after that.
Okay, I'll have to kind of find it on here.
Out peering on the top of the piece that you're trying to reference against on a nail.
of your line, the distance
So that's it
between
there,
your line and
Zach, and then you can do the next one.
Okay, just give me one quick second.
It's something I meant to do at the beginning was just to say thank you so much to all of you for coming to this and coming to my presentation and all the other presentations. I unfortunately was really busy this weekend and couldn't get to any of the other ones. And also thank you so much to Zach and the other organizers to make this happen. This is so awesome. This is so amazing. So yeah, you go ahead and play that video. That's good for that one, Zach.
so
So I wanted to show that that plunge cut that Ella demonstrates is that's in my opinion that's a super pro level kind of thing to be able to do. And throughout all of the videos that we have, we end up dropping in things like that between all of the instructors. I'd say there's over 100 years of experience, and so there's just so many things. Exactly, very easy to break the blade if you do that wrong. Ella made it look really easy right there. I don't even know if I can pull it off that smoothly if I pulled out my jigsaw right now. But yeah, there's so many little things that we've all learned in our experience that we end up sharing with you, things that can end up saving you hours of time. Oh yeah, Rory, there we have hole saws. There's a whole drill video that's, yep, sometimes you don't have the right size, or you just don't have them there, or you're up on a roof and you've got your jigsaw but you don't have the hole saw. So learning all the options, learning all these foundational pieces, um, can just help you so much when you're building a house, or even like somebody was saying earlier, just doing maintenance, like little things. When you know all these little bits and pieces. You can put them together however ends up working best for you. Hole saw takes an entire battery to get one hole. Get good tools. I really like Milwaukee. I'm going to throw one more call to action up here. Hopefully you all got signed up on that the wish list or the wait list. So we have a free class that we're offering right now, top 10 ways to save money when building a tiny house. If you click on that link, go in there and sign up for it. That's only open for a few more days. So if you sign up for it now, you get to keep it forever. So go click in there. We did a panel discussion. We filmed for probably 2 to 3 hours on that topic. We narrowed it down a lot for you, but we've got tons of great tips and stuff in there as well. So that's the tools section. Oh yeah, I got to share my screen. There we go. So yeah, lots of tool videos in there, and that just gives you a brief idea of the quality of those videos. Next up is designing your tiny house, and there's a ton of stuff in here. We've got really great teacher Alex Henderson. He studied at Auburn University and worked with the design studio there that does some really cool projects. And I'll show you, this is I think the last little video excerpt I'm going to show. It's from the passive solar design video. This is, if you don't mind sharing the last slide
Okay,
from the
I'll get it.
slideshow.
1 second.
And yeah, great point, Zach, to just know about the tools. Starting off, just watching the videos. A lot of the videos are made so you can try to walk along with us and do things, but sometimes it's also great to just like watch the video when you're going to sleep in the evening, and then, sleep on it and let it kind of marinate in your brain, and then maybe try it the next day. So I'm going to mute myself.
One second, trying to get it to work. My computer's on overdrive.
So we actually want to start this video at about 3 minutes in.
in the spring and fall. Light really comes in very.
That's great. Thanks, Zach. So I lied. That was the second to last video, but we're not going to jump right into one more video. I'll talk to you for a little bit. So yeah, that's the whole house design. And like I mentioned, we are continuing to review this class, take feedback from the students that are already in it. We've got about 600 students in it right now, and I think there's potential for a lot more. So the more people we get signing up at each time that the more we're going to do, the more push my boss to let me do that, which you'll see her in one of the next. Oh yeah, this was a great comment I thought from this design section. Was in response to one of Alex's video about site analysis. Nicole said, "Wow, I love the approach design. Before watching these videos, I thought my design process would be drawing squares on graph paper. This program approach basically articulates thoughts I've already had in my head. So impressed how this course not only gives basics on building and tool use, etc., but also has a wonderful foundation in the thinking and philosophy behind tiny house living." So hearing me talk about how great I think this is one thing, but hearing from students that are actually taking it and what their experience is, I think really says a lot. So the next section is legality and cost, and we've got legal considerations for tiny homes, DOT regulations, permits, certifications. We have that top 10 ways to save money, which that's, like I mentioned, that free class that you can get, and it for that one right now. Next is natural building and ecological construction. So this is going to be the last video that I'll share, but you can see there's quite a bit in here. This one was really fun. I happened to be doing a site milling of some white pine lumber for siding, which is the video. We did that whole process of milling lumber off of your land. We talked about regenerative timber harvesting. Zach, if you want to go ahead and queue up that last video, it is the one on hempcrete, and it's pros and cons of hempcrete. And
okay.
Stop sharing my screen.
Perfect.
One of the instructors I'm onboarding right now, actually he's an expert in hempcrete, has written multiple books on hempcrete and natural building. And he was actually in New York about 3 weeks ago working with the International Code Council, who is the organization that writes the base code book, and then different municipalities and states take that book and modify it to fit for their region. So he was there giving input and review with a panel of about 10 other people on hempcrete specifically, and getting that into the building code book. So like I said, he's going to be teaching some classes too, and he's like way ahead of the curve, especially with hempcrete, but also just natural building in general. Nice.
Okay, 1 second. It's giving me an error that I hadn't been getting. So let me see if I can fix it.
Well, we can skip it, Zach. I got a decent amount more to talk about, and I want to take a few questions too. So I just keep walking you through all that we've got in here. So yeah, that's natural building and ecological construction. Then we've got actual step-by-step overview of building a tiny house, just like general exterior and interior. And then we have Danielle, who's a really great builder and architect, actually walking through all the different types of these systems. So foundation, and then slab on grade foundation, post foundations, block wall, goes on and on. We've got all the parts of walls and wall framing, roofs, and then special considerations for tiny houses on wheels as well as tiny houses on foundations. And this is another one of those where our online classroom just cuts it off because we've got way more than 10 videos on that section. Then we've got the actual rough construction section before where Danielle was kind of wall frame and roof. We actually bring you on site and do some things. So we start right at the beginning, which is getting a set of batter boards and lines set up. Everybody does that. On that same site, actually, we were doing a pier and footer foundation for one of the in-person 10-day intensive classes that we offer for the house that was going to go there. So we do an entire concrete pier foundation. I think we get 2.5 hours in total, but we break up. We do floor framing, wall framing, we do window installation, and we install 3 different types of windows, including making a window, a fixed window, just from a raw piece of glass, building the frame and all of that. Actually install a door, and that's also another one where we build the frame and the sill for that door because it's got to be a little bit shorter, which can be very applicable to a tiny house. We do siding, we do metal roofing install, the soffit and fascia, and we even talk about the gutter install on that one. Then we've got utilities and systems, and so it's mostly electrical and plumbing. I'll take you through the kind of the theory and that, and then we actually do look at different types of wire and conduit and how to put it together, how to set up an outlet and wire a light, and I think even a 3-way switch. I'll walk you through a solar electric system on a house that I did about a year ago. Water in and out of your tiny house, and then the basics of plumbing for doing your drainage system as well as your cold and hot water supply, waters, and doing fuel and gas propane lines, and then composting toilets. I'm finishing up editing a video right now of installing a flush toilet in a tiny house on wheels that has some really interesting challenges. We do that totally from scratch, as well as set up the whole site for kind of an RV type site to have. We bring power there, we bring water there, and then we also connect the drain plumbing to the septic system of that house. So, Rory, I do not know off the top of my head what the hempcrete R value is roughly, but I guarantee you it is in that video. So then we got finish work, and Nadi takes you through hardwood flooring installation. She's in this really tiny room, but it's a great demo size because you get to see it from start to finish. She really encounters pretty much every kind of thing you can expect to come up against. We've got more videos they're pretty much done editing. We're in review stages, so she also does trim on 2 different windows as well as a sliding glass door. I do a video on drywall installation and walking through doing anywhere from level 0 to a level 5 drywall installation and all the mudding and stuff that goes along with that. And we have tiny and not so tiny house tours. I think this is one of the coolest things everything's really cool, I think, in this program. But the tiny and not so tiny house tours are really awesome because we've got tiny houses that you're not going to see anywhere else. They're just close friends of ours that otherwise have no interest in being on YouTube or on the internet or anything, but they do let us come into their homes and share. So if you remember in the commercial video that I showed you, Zach mentioned it. There's a house with that really cool curvy roof. That one's in there. We've got like a 20, 30-minute tour video of that. There are so many other cool aspects in that house other than the curvy roof. There's a rooftop deck that's accessed by like a little curved arch top like mini door from the bedroom loft that you can go out. There's so many cool things in that. And we've got a couple more of those scheduled in the near future. They might even make it out into this next release before the end of the year. So yeah, as some of y'all have been saying, how thorough this seems. We're trying hard, and we researched and found that, I mean, there's nothing else I would say that's even close to this amount of quality content, all well organized. You could probably find a lot of these things on YouTube, but of course you're going to have to sift through so much. Thank you, Betsy. Yeah, you can totally be a real DIYer, and that's where Wild Abundance got started, actually doing online hide tanning class, and then got into doing women's basic and advanced carpentry classes. And then we just realized like how many people want this information and that it's not available or accessible. And so that's what we're really working on doing. So let's see who wants to ask a question. We went online because of COVID. It started out because we wanted our in-person classes have a decent amount of classroom portion to them. So Wild Abundance said, well, let's take a lot of the information that we would teach there, put it in video format so we can reduce our in-person time. And then we realized we were kind of building this really great class. So why not just continue with it for people that it takes a lot to get to our in-person classes. Yeah, if you want to ask questions, just drop them here in the chat. That's probably the easiest way. So Betsy, you're also asking, after a crazy winter here in central Pennsylvania, could I give you input from our classes about winterizing? How easily mounted for winter and dismounted for repair, and summer skirting for the house. So that's actually, I have gotten one other person asking about skirting and stuff. It's not something that we actually go into yet in the Tiny House Academy, but the awesome thing about it is we are regularly taking feedback, and the more people ask for the same thing, the more likely we are to add videos to it. So likelihood is that this program is going to keep increasing in cost over time as we add more and more to it. So the sooner you buy into it, the better, because you buy it now, you get all the additions that we may do later on for our initial cost. Rory, I don't think you can park your tiny house there. With our in-person classes, we need real house builds. So that's probably one of the best ways to be able to have your tiny house parked near us and work on it at the same time, is actually to end up being one of the recipients of our in-person house builds. Loretta, yes, it's lifetime. You buy it, you register, and it's lifetime. And yes, it is an ever-growing class. Yep, they're automatically available for you. I'm very happy you're stoked, Betsy. So Sharon, the summer class that I mentioned, that's just we release this Tiny House Academy throughout the year, and so this coming summer is the next time that we are releasing it. I think that is what you're asking about. Yeah, we're hopefully you can tell I'm really excited. We're all really excited. I've wanted to teach and share for so many years, and it takes so much to make it all happen. I've got about 2.5 terabytes of video footage of me. I'm in my own tiny house, which was the first one that I built. I've got loads of footage of building this, and I'd never done anything with it. Yeah, it's a lot, because you've got to have a video person shooting, and you've got to be thinking about what you're shooting, and then you've got to upload it and organize it and edit it, and then to get it to the point where the Tiny House Academy is, you've got to upload it onto the website and advertise and sell it. And so, very grateful to Wild Abundance for just making it to where I get to say, hey, I want to film this class on this day, tell the videographer to be there. We are keeping safety protocols for the in-person classes. We're just kind of following state and local guidelines. The in-person classes, there's a sale at the beginning of the year, our New Year's sale. And usually that's another thing you want to get on the wait list for. We'll let you know when those open, because those classes sell out in a matter of days. And we probably have, between all of the classes that we do, hide tanning, we do, there's a timber framing specific. This year we're doing 4 tiny house builds. Between all those classes, there's probably 200 to 300 students, and within a few days, they all end up selling out. Yes, Betsy, the cost. So we do it on a sliding scale. We are really passionate about people being able to access this that need it. So we've got 3 cost tiers. We've got the full price, we've got a half price, and then we are able to do scholarships. We budget about 20% of what we make each time to be able to put into a scholarship fund. So if you can pay the full price, which last time was about $600, so the half price option was about $300, and then for scholarships, you need to apply, and there's a questionnaire, but we like to do that as much as possible. So I think it's going to be about the same, although that's not my department. Even though I'm the director of this program, I don't get to decide on the cost. Yeah, I think it's an insanely phenomenal deal. I was counting up the other day, there's currently about 60 total classes. So like one class would be that concrete footer and pier foundation that I mentioned was about 2.5 hours long. I think our shortest classes are maybe in the realm of half an hour, but there's about 60 of those. So it's about $10 per class. And like after the concrete footer and pier foundation, you can literally go do it yourself. Sherry, Wild Abundance is located near Asheville, North Carolina, and it's a little bit outside in Barnardsville. Yeah, it's a ton of classes, I think, too, Zach. And like I said, we're adding to it. And if like all of you go, and thanks for sharing the waitlist link again, Loretta. Yeah, that's how you find out about it. Like I said, I'm not in the marketing and sales department, so yeah, right. Yeah, just one college credit is $600. I would say that this is it's at least a semester's worth. We've had, if you really dove into it, we had one student that managed to go through the entire thing. They're 99% complete. I think they skipped a couple intro videos or something, but they did that in, I think it was 3 months. I do not expect anybody else to do that, and kind of the point of it is that it's a library, it's a resource, so you're not necessarily supposed to buy it and then just book your way through it. You have it for life, and so as I mentioned, the sooner you buy it, I would say, the better, because we're adding to it. It's going to become more valuable, and I think it's very likely that we will continue to increase the price, because it costs, I want to say, to make 1 hour of finished video costs like $2,000 to $3,000. It's not a cheap endeavor, and Wild Abundance has been, putting up the money up front to make this happen, and we're just fortunate that $300 credit in 1970. Yeah. We're doing good. We're not rolling along with inflation quite as much as we could. I know there's a function of like handing over the mic kind of. Oh, there we go. Anybody want to do a mic request and pop up on screen? Thanks, Betsy. Yeah, luckily we are able to really focus on affordability. Pretty much all of the teachers and a lot of the staff at Wild Abundance do live in tiny homes. So like mine here that I'm in, I built several years ago. I do not owe a single penny for it, and so that allows us to take risks and not have to worry about whether or not something's going to work out. So luckily, this is all working out really well, and we just get to keep trying to make it more and more available and affordable. Nobody wants to grab the mic, get in the hot seat for me. It's warming up here in my house. I've got a big skylight up above me. All right, Betsy, I'm giving you the mic.
Hey there. I'm sorry. I'm a blabbermouth during this whole thing, but I think you guys, I don't know, I'm going to start crying, I think. It's so important in the tiny house movement to have integrated strategic programming. And I'm a lifelong educator, several careers. I'm now very active in the tiny living movement. I work at 2 different tiny house jobs. I live in a tiny house. But for all of us to be able to learn together, like what you guys are doing, I think is, like you said, there's nothing else out there like it that I've seen either. And I really encourage, everybody to kind of think about what this could mean, not just for Wild Abundance, but for a model of strategically integrated programs for tiny living. I think you guys are awesome. I'll shut up.
Thank you so much. And yeah, I want to put out there to y'all, like Betsy, you mentioned being a lifelong educator. We are learning a lot in making this program about so many things, video editing and processing and just how to educate properly. So we do leave space for people that have expertise that could be helpful to make our program better. So we're working with somebody who is specifically educated and works in online education, and they are getting all our courses for free in exchange for some consultation time with them to be able to turn around and make our programs better. So if there are people here in this audience, or people that have a skill that they may want to provide to us in exchange for getting to have access to these classes, please get them to be in touch with us. Oh, wow. Thanks, Yuri. Advice on organizing the shower and toilet, especially there's no way to connect to water. Yeah. So we do, like, in one of those videos, we talk about composting toilets a little bit, and that's actually what I use here in my house. So we talk about that in there. I'm saving your email, so I'm slightly distracted, but there we go. Yeah, so for a toilet, myself and a lot of people, we use a 5-gallon bucket that we have built a box around, and there's a toilet seat on top of, and you can use that. Ideally, you have sawdust tends to work the best. It's really nice and fine. Put a couple scoops in that in afterwards every now and then. If you have some wood ashes to put in, that can really help control smells. And as far as shower, I run my shower right out onto the ground. I'm out here in the country. I'm not in the city, so there's a lot of land for that to percolate into, and I make sure to use soaps that are not harmful and they're biodegradable and stuff. And I know a lot of our teachers live that way and do stuff like that. Man, it's always so great to connect with people and talk about this. Y'all just filling up this chat just fills me up with excitement, and just lets me know that yeah, we're doing the right thing. That's our hope. We want to make tiny home dreams come true. Yep, go to the next session. Everybody go to the next session. Thank you. I hope to see you in the Tiny House Academy. You can also ask questions if you're in the Tiny House Academy, you can ask questions there. And part of my job is to go in there and answer those questions. So it's basically, I charge $50 to $100 an hour for consulting with people about house stuff. You get that for free too in the Tiny House Academy. So see you around. Thanks, everybody.